Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your December 2022 tarot card and astrology reading. Congratulations, we made it to December. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Jane, for those of you who are new. I am so grateful to have you here. So as always, these readings are separated into two segments. The first segment is going to be an intuitive tarot card reading, and the second segment is going to be an astrological prediction. So you're more than welcome to watch either segment first. All the timestamps are going to be found in the description box and the comment thread down below for easy access. You can watch for your sun, moon, or rising sign, although I do recommend watching your rising sign if you are concerned about having accurate house transit information. You can certainly watch for your Venus sign if you're here for love. And if you're interested in joining my Soul Seekers group, we would absolutely love to have you on there. Soul Seekers group is where I post exclusive content specifically geared for members, where we go more in depth on specific transits, and we have a little bit more educational information coming out on there as well. So please see the timestamps in the description box and the comment thread down below to jump to each segment of the reading. I hope you guys have an amazing December. You know I love you, and I'll see you in just a sec. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your tarot card reading for December 2022. So let's go ahead and take a look here, see what comes through. I'm going to start with a message from my intuitive deck. Okay, I feel like you've been on multiple paths lately. Maybe a bit non-committal with something. You've been kind of keeping something at arm's length, or you've been having a hard time convincing yourself that it's time to jump in the deep end. But I actually think in December you're going to be like, you know what, let's just freaking do it. Let's go all in, let's invest in this, let's do the time, let's spend the money, let's whatever the case is, let's just do it. I'm kind of getting a feeling of what have I got to lose kind of thing. What have I got to lose? It's just life. It's almost as though you want more to experience life than it is that you care about any specific outcome. It feels like you have been on the fence or non-committed or one foot out the door type of thing. And I think the only reason for that was because I don't know. It's just it's not that you had an excuse or that there was all these reasons why. It just didn't feel like it was time. Didn't feel like it was time, but it feels like it's time now. And as the sun comes through Sagittarius season, he offers a really nice, of course, 11th house activation for you. It really pushes you past a lot of boundaries here. There's a lot of explorative qualities. And I feel like Aquarius is you know what? Let's explore. There's a lot of curiosity here. There's a lot of just kind of let's just see what happens. What if it works? And there's a lot of optimism here too. What if it works? What if I do earn that money? What if I do meet the love of my life? What if I do get that job? Or, it's just well, what if? And I feel like you're really drawn toward what if of the positive things, not of the negative things. Okay, well, I feel like Temperance was on top, so we're going to take Temperance. I'm not going to take all the cards. So this represents what the universe needs from you this month, which is Temperance, which is, now I did happen to see the star in that pile too. I should probably pull out the star, because it was I was having a hard time. Do I choose the Temperance card or I choose the star? And I was well, Temperance was on top, but this is your card, right? Aquarius, the star. I do feel such beauty and bounty coming through here. You seem like you've really latched on to something. You've really connected to something. And there does seem to be a degree of peace. When you finally go all in on something, I actually sense, instead of it giving you a feeling of heaviness or obligation, it's actually going to make you feel free. It's going to make you feel a sense of relief, like 1,000,000 pounds just got lifted off your shoulders. It's finally, and it's almost as though your soul or your higher self or maybe your spirit guides or whatever are just oh, thank goodness they finally figured it out. Finally. And this is great. I sense calmness. I sense, that you feel very sure with things. There's not a lot of confusion with the path forward, rather, if I could talk. There just seems to be one step in front of the other in a direction that really makes you happy. So what's going on in the environment for Aquarius here? We have the Queen of Swords. Now, I am going to lay the cards here, which means the Queen of Swords is kind of looking in the opposite direction. She's got her back turned to everything. This is someone outside of you, all right? This is not you. So the Queen of Swords is someone that's either minding their own business, not paying attention to you. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it represents multiple people, and it's like, you know what, Aquarius, the world is not watching. It doesn't really matter what you do. People don't care. They're not invested. Like, this is what is bringing you so much freedom right now, is the fact that no one's watching. No one's seeing it. So you can do all sorts of unique and out of the box and experimental things, and you can do it all behind the scenes where no one is watching. And then when you're done, or when you've come to some great milestone and you're ready to share it with the world, then you can, and it may actually take the world by surprise. Queen of Swords is probably someone that you really respect a lot, that you love a lot. There's some kind of a kindred spirit coming through for me. Maybe a romantic partner, it may not be. There's clearly an element of respect. And this is someone that maybe you are wanting to impress to a certain degree. But it's not really that you're setting out to impress them. More so, you want to do a good job with it, right? You're not doing it to get their approval. You're doing it because you want to, but you want to do well because you want them to be like, oh, wow, like, look at Aquarius. I had no idea they had it in them. I had no idea they were even doing this. Like, this is incredible. So whatever your creative projects, Mars retrograde in that 5th house is absolutely giving you that focus and the vital energy and the passion to really, really carry you forward and to give you that burst of momentum that you're needing to carry you forward into 2023. So here we have 3 of Wands, Temperance. Oh, another Temperance card. I love that for you. It's very zen, it's quiet. It's not really making a lot of shock waves. We've got the moon reversed. It's just, there's a quality of beingness. Aquarius is just being what they are. They're just doing what they do. There's something so natural and authentic to this whole process. Now, the 3 of Wands is a suggestion of wealth and abundance, and it's coming to you. But the problem with this card, I love this card, by the way. There's really no problem with it. But the issue is just that it takes time, right? Is that you don't really have a lot of control over when those ships come in. And that's why I think just focusing on the creative component of it, focusing on the doing, on the tasks, focusing on the execution is what's going to kind of, it's like, what do we always say? A watched pot never boils. Like if you're sitting there staring at a pot of water on the stove, it seems to take forever to boil. But if you busy yourself in the kitchen with something else, chopping your vegetables, getting, the rest of the dishes prepared, then all of a sudden that water is boiling. And so it's kind of like, don't look at the results. Keep your eyes away from the desired results. Now you can keep your eyes on the goal, right? And you can continue to check those boxes off, but don't measure your success based on what you're getting right now. And I think that energy will clear in March when Saturn enters into Pisces. Saturn tends to prolong the results, prolong the harvest. So you still have a few months to go. So don't even worry about that. The trick is the alignment and getting this alignment really secure and tapping into that inner peace that comes with doing this thing, with this commitment, with this pathway. With the moon reversed, I feel like you've already conquered a lot of your fears. And there does seem to be a disillusion of a lot of your fears, Aquarius. Like a lot of the fear that had held you back in the past suddenly, like all of a sudden, like it's not even there anymore. And I don't know really how to explain that. I think this has a lot to do with the fact that we've had that eclipse season recently. And maybe fear became so compounded that it like lost its power, you know? It's good. It's a good thing, you know? It's like one less thing to hold you back anyway, one less thing to contend with as you're trying to live your life. You know, it seems soft, it seems simple and easy for Aquarius right now, or at least throughout December. Feels like you will be working hard though, and you will be putting effort into something, but it's not going to feel like you are under any pressure. And it's like the lack of pressure actually is going to enhance your productivity. 3 of Coins reversed. 5 of Wands. And Death. All right. Well, I like Death underneath the moon. Again, reinforcing that message of the end of the subconscious effects, right? Our subconscious is so powerful. And yet when we alleviate a lot of that patterning, or at least we let go, or we offer forgiveness or compassion, or whatever the case is for you personally, when we actually do that, we find freedom. Death is very much about freedom to a certain degree. Can it be potent? Yes, sure. Can it be hard? Yeah, sure. But there is freedom. And actually, the harder and harder you work, the more free you become. When I say work, I don't necessarily mean like the drudgery of hard labor per se, but setting up your life, setting up certain structures so that you can feel financially and emotionally, materialistically, however you want to, you know, whatever is important to you right now, so you can feel secure in that way. Relationships with people may be a little bit weird. As the sun comes through Sagittarius, it will be coming into an opposition with Mars. There may be other people that are demanding your attention right now, people that are a lot more disorganized than you, or a lot further behind than you. And I don't mean to say that in a judgmental, condescending way. It's just we're all at different markers. And if you are on a certain trajectory, it doesn't make sense to like slow yourself down so much. So you may have to contend with some interesting relationships. But also those relationships can be really good, or some relationships can be really good too. Because as you are delving in and getting really, really focused on something that you care about, you are going to hit up against creative blocks. You're going to have some up and down kind of energy. Some things are going to work. Some things are not going to work. It's like getting into a new relationship, right? Like all of a sudden everything is great. And then you hit a patch where you see this person in a new way, they see you in a new way, and you're like, wow, I didn't know that about you. So now we have to kind of work with that. You know, we got to kind of make our way through it. We have to figure out a way to communicate better or to accommodate one another better, whatever it is. But that's okay, because we need those kinds of relationships to mirror a lot of things back to us. Obviously, we're not perfect. Otherwise, we would be where we wanted to be by now. So these reflections, these energies can be fantastic for your, I don't know why I'm seeing freedom with the Death card. I have no idea why. Freedom does seem to be a theme that is emerging, obviously, to Sagittarius season. So that theme makes a lot of sense. But we are all going to find freedom in our own unique ways. For you, it seems to be confronting a lot of the I feel like the word feedback is important here. Like you're going to be receiving a lot of feedback from people, and it may trigger you. Not going to lie. It's like it's hard to receive feedback from people. But when you do, you get to improve on things. And when you improve on things, then you actually get to make really, really, really good things. And actually, this Queen of Swords, like there does seem to be some kind of feeling like their opinion does matter a lot. And you may be doing a lot so that when this person sees it, it's like near perfect. And this is you with the process of making it as perfect or as efficient or as high quality or as professional or whatever it is as you possibly can. So that when this person sees, they will like, wow, I had no idea. Good for you, Aquarius. For some reason, they're, again, not approval, but it's like validation. Like this is one of the only people that can really validate you. You hold them in such high esteem. But you are ready to die metaphorically, right? You're ready to shed a certain aspect of yourself. You're ready to shed one of those subconscious layers, you know? It's just like, it's all old and crusty and it needs to come off. It's been a little too preventative. You know, it's been preventing you from the very thing that you didn't want prevention from. So freedom it is. Freedom is the choice. You find freedom through commitment. You find freedom through hard work. You find freedom through comfort and temperance and creativity. Oh, well, there we go with the Magician. Of course we get the Magician. You are making magic right now. There's no doubt about that. Knight of Swords. And see, you're Two of Swords, like you're not in two different camps anymore. There seems to be a unification. Maybe recently you have had to contend with two opposing thoughts. Like on one hand, you didn't want this, and then on the other hand, you did. Let's use relationships. On one hand, you really, really enjoy being single because of the autonomy. But then on the other hand, you love the emotional security that comes with being deeply and madly in love with someone. It's like how, and you can love both and you can have both. Or no, you can't have both. I mean, you can have both thoughts, but you can't really have both. Because if you were single and autonomous, and you're trying to find that romantic connection and trust and all of that, that just means that you have one foot out the door in both things. So you're just sitting in a gray area. And right now, this is not about being in a gray area. This is about fully committing to one thing or the other. But I think you're ready for that. You're ready to take that leap. You're ready to say, I'm going to make this decision and I'm never going to look back. Saturn has done a number on you in some way, shape, or form, I'm sure. And we're coming near the end of his transit. And Jupiter in Pisces is helping us to feel like it's possible and we actually can get what we want and that our fears are not necessarily warranted. And he's helping us make those big decisions and take those big leaps. And actually, I don't think this is your energy at all. I think this is very counter to what you're projecting out there right now. But this is someone, see, there's a stark contrast going on. This is someone that is really up there. And I'm not saying you're putting them up on a pedestal like in some toxic way. It's just that they've done a lot to prove how great they are. And then we have the Knight of Swords, who seems to be proving a lot how unstable and unpredictable and not so great they are. And I feel like you're looking at these two things in the same way that you're looking at some aspect of yourself and you're saying, well, what type of person do I really want to be? Everyone seems to be mirroring something back to you right now. It's going to be really useful. That's good information. You know, it's good when things get mirrored back to us, because then we get to grow. And I think you see the effects of what happens to people when they run away from even their own creations. Like, how many times has someone created something and, created an opportunity, created a job offer, has the potential for an amazing relationship, which is what they always said that they wanted. And then the minute that it becomes real, they take off. They can't handle the expansion. And you see that and what happens when you run away from expansion and your own creations. And you're observing and you're seeing that, and then you say, I don't want that. I don't want to be 1 foot in one camp and another foot in another camp. It's not going to serve me and my purpose. So you're committing to a way of thought. You're committing to a lifestyle. You're committing to an important chapter in your life. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful moment, because it's like Saturn has made it, really hard to do that. But we're coming to the end of this transit, and it's like, all right, well, we are going to need to choose now. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull out the clarifiers. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about these clarification cards. All the ways to access will be found in the description box in the comment thread down below. So go ahead and take a look. Make sure you select the right link for what's right for you, and we will go from there. Okay? All right. So hold on. Wrong deck. I'm going to start with clarifying. Now, I'm only going to pull out 2 cards for over here, since I did already pull out 2. Normally I pull out 3, so we're going to pull out 2 clarifiers for the Temperance and the Star, which really is what the universe needs from you. So what else does Aquarius need to know regarding what the universe needs from them? Page of Swords. Oh, I love it. Beautiful. Queen of Cups. And for the Queen of Swords, the environment. What else is going on in Aquarius environment? High Priestess. Knight of Swords. Yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, it's not you. Something is trying to get at your peace, though. And Nine of Cups. Okay. And we will start with the Three of Wands, this beautiful card of wealth and abundance that you so deserve. We have, another moon card. Okay. Queen of Coins. Ace of Wands. Queen of Wands and Seven of Wands reversed. I'm really happy that Seven of Wands is reversed. And clearly this top one. Eight of Swords reversed. Also beautiful. Another Queen of Cups. Knight of Wands. Ten of Coins reversed. This very much has a lot to do with your relationship with abundance. And I actually do want to... Abundance is such a weird word because we can all define it in so many different ways. Nine of Coins, Five of Wands, Ten of Cups. I feel like this is more material. I feel like it's more about your living conditions, your bank accounts, your investment portfolios, the cars you drive, that kind of thing. It's a little bit more about that right now. Four of Wands. Hanged Man reversed. Oh, another Magician. Excellent. 10 of Wands. 5 of Swords reversed. Another Page of Swords, another 2 of Swords. 5 of Cups reversed. Oh, King of Swords reversed. No, I even accidentally called that the King of Swords too. So that's interesting. 8 of Coins. 4 of Coins. Oh, we got 6 of Coins and 2 of Wands. And the final card is 9 of Cups reversed. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So if you want to join me, of course, you are more than welcome. Thank you all so much. You guys know I love and adore you. Have an amazing weekend or month. I keep saying weekend. I don't know why. Have a great month. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your astrology reading for December 2022. Thank you all so much for being here. So we have some bigger transits happening, but I don't know that December is going to be like this massive life-changing month. It's just going to be a month where we feel like life is starting to gain momentum again after a very chaotic Virgo season and a very strange Scorpio season. You know, it really is time for things to get back on track for us. Now, let me go down the list and list out all of the bigger things that are going to happen. So we start December off with a Neptune stationing direct on December 3rd. Now, the last week of November, the first few days of December, we are going to feel this transition. Neptune can feel highly emotional. There can be a lot of pent up energy that absolutely needs to get released. For you, this is happening in your second house. So there could be some quality of like feeling more isolated or feeling like you're wanting to be more domestic, more private. There could be some weird things going on with your financial situation as well. Like, what do I do? How do I earn more? Or where do I invest? There could be some loss, so be careful where you're investing your money right now. There could also be some concerns of your sense of self-worth or self-value. You may even actually be eating a little bit more than you normally do. Maybe you're just feeling a little bit more hungry. That's okay to replenish your body. No big deal. If you're not feeling hungry and it's going the other way around, that's also okay. Just make sure that you honor your body and you take care of your health as much as possible and you're not doing anything self-destructive. So that's happening on December 3rd. Now, obviously, the beginning of December, we are well on our way through Sagittarius season. We have the sun sitting at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. So there is a lot of 11th house activation those first few days. And 11th house is kind of your natural house. So there's some comfort with that there a little bit. There's a quality of belonging, maybe a little bit of social, kind of social, which is a little bit in conflict with the Neptune energy. If you are feeling like you don't know, it's like, I should, but I don't really want to. I should go out, but I kind of want to be at home. I'm feeling tired. Honestly, honor your body. If going out and being a little bit extroverted for a night gives you a supercharge of energy so you can wake up in the morning and be more productive, then by all means, take that extra step to go out. But if you really need to rest, give your body that rest, all right? You're the only one that's going to know what's right for you. On the 6th, we have Mercury coming into Capricorn. Now, later on in the month, he's going to be doing a retrograde in Capricorn, so he's going to kind of start entering into his shadows phase fairly quickly. And then we're going to have this full moon in Gemini, which is conjunct Mars. Now, this particular full moon, it's very, for you in the 5th house, there's a lot of creativity going on. If you have children, I don't know whatever age they are, be sure to check in on them, check in on their own individual needs. If you have very young children, like toddlers, 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, that kind of thing, it's possible that their emotions may be heightened. So maybe you can expect a little, outburst or tantrums or something like that, or maybe they just need a little bit more love or care, or they need something, to keep them busy or stimulated. And kind of tapping into their own creativity would be a very good thing to do, even if it's like painting or running around or playing a game, climbing trees, whatever people do with their children, that would be a really good time to do that. If there is an inner child in you that is wanting to get out and do those things too, please honor that. I think for Aquarius, there does seem to be a big message of honoring yourself. And that's true across the board for everybody all the time. But certain times we can place discipline and ambition and duty ahead of like self-care things. But right now, I think you're going to have to find a way to kind of balance both. Please do the self-care stuff, because this 12th house activity, as Mercury comes in, right? Remember, Mercury comes in on the 6th. We have the full moon on the 7th. And then on the 9th, we have Venus coming in here as well. And 12th house activation can mean more sleep. Neptune is also one of the rulers of sleep. So as the sun comes through Sagittarius, it will come into that square with Neptune, and you are going to need that rest, all right? So there could be more isolating energy. You could really value your private time, doing things to honor, mental health-wise with the 12th house. But a lot of creativity could come through here too, especially with that full moon happening conjunct Mars here. Now, I've been talking about Sagittarius season specifically being a time when we are going to be encouraged and enabled to make some big leaps, take big leaps in a direction that is toward these big goals and aspirations that we have for ourselves. And I think Mars in the 5th is really asking Aquarius to do that. It's like, Aquarius, if you want this creative project to do well, you can't do it baby steps right now. And maybe that's one of the reasons why you need your rest, to conserve your energy, so that when you are prepared to take that big step, you're going to have that reserve to go off of. So don't be afraid to take those risks. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, to express yourself. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. With the sun in the 11th house, people will likely be highly responsive to you. So let's say you're like writing a book, and you're trying to reach out to publishers. This would be a fantastic time for that. Or if you're trying, if you're an artist and you have like a whole show ready to show in a gallery, now would be a great time to reach out to the galleries or to art brokers, or, I don't know your business, but whatever your business dictates, now would be a fantastic time for you to reach out to those people, to kind of get yourself involved in the circles, whether it's your spiritual circle, your friend circle, your industry circle, your political circle, I don't care, but get involved in your circles, all right? Even if it's just one thing, showing up, showing your face at some point. That'd be beautiful. And it could be highly advantageous for you career-wise later on when the sun comes into your sign in Aquarius late January. All right, so we got to kind of play a little bit of a long game here. There's a little bit of strategy involved. Showing up, showing your face, being present so you're at the top of your mind. So when you do make the big moves, people are going to be like, oh, dang. That's who I want to be doing business with. That's who I want to give my money to. That's who I want to show up with. Okay? Now, after that Venus coming into Capricorn, there may not be tons of stuff going on until Jupiter comes into Aries. Now, I do think that you've had a little bit of a boost financially. Now, it doesn't mean you've had a financial increase per se, but maybe just a greater desire to enhance that particular part of your life, to get more money, whatever it is. But as Jupiter comes in through Aries, I guarantee you, Jupiter through Aries is going to be a kick-ass transit for you, Aquarius, all right? I love third house activity, and I love when there is a benefic, I was going to say beneficial, but really a benefic planet in there as well, especially Jupiter, because he's like the big fun planet, all right? And with the third house, there can be so much movement, There can be a lot of creativity, a lot of different connections. Now, Jupiter is going to be moving through Aries very quickly at the beginning of the year. He comes in and then he enters into Taurus in May. So he really only has like 4.5 months in Aries. And throughout that time, he is going to come in contact with Chiron, which will, of course, accentuate or magnify some of that wounding and that pain. Now, we're not quite there yet. I'm just mentally preparing you, because when you want to take advantage of it through December, you want to take advantage of it through January as well, as Jupiter is just re-entering into Aries, and you have that go, go, go kind of attitude, and you believe in yourself, and you want to put yourself out there, and you have that desire to be open and available. When he comes in contact, you may kind of close up for a little while, but that won't last long as he makes his way across, and then for the rest of Aries, you'll kind of go back out again. But just take advantage of it, all right? You want to realize that there's, a little bit of a dip in there. And then when he comes into the 4th, it's a very private space down here as well. There could be great things happening for your career, but there's a lot going on behind closed doors. So this is more of a social time for Aquarius, or the potential for that. So Jupiter comes in on the 20th, and then on the 21st, the sun is going to come into Capricorn. Now, Capricorn season for Aquarius is just simply one of those times where you're going to want to be away. The sun in the 12th wants to stay, well, I don't know if it wants to stay hidden, but it just maybe feels like it kind of needs to. It needs to prioritize their mental health. It needs to prioritize their kind of, physical. There's a physical component too, even though not technically, but it does aspect the 6th house. So mental health and physical health, big elements of this. But also during this time, it's possible that you may start to allow yourself to dream, right? When Capricorn season is activated, it creates the belief, right? The 12th house motto is I believe. We get to believe that things are possible for us. We get to believe that we can do it and that we can reach those goals. And sometimes we just got to take a minute to get on board with ourselves. We got to really psych ourselves up so that we can really launch when 1st house activation occurs. We are having a new moon in Capricorn on the 23rd. Now, new moon in Capricorn at 1 degree, and on the 23rd, same day, Chiron goes direct. Now, a lot of this, because I feel like with 3rd house Chiron, there has been a lot about your intelligence. This came in 2018, how you think, and woundings in terms of how you think, and the belief structures that you've subscribed to, and all the information that you've collected. There's been a lot of questioning for Aquarius, is this even real, or is this just a projection? And it's been maybe a bit difficult for Aquarius to truly land on some kind of a truth, which Aquarius is deeply connected with truth. But it's hard to land on something when wounds are being exposed, because you're like, oh, well, that was just something that someone taught me, but how now maybe I'm questioning as to whether or not I even trust them. But when Chiron starts going direct, it's kind of like, you know what? Maybe it doesn't matter. I know what to be true for me right now, and that's all that matters. I don't need to look into my past. I don't need to look into my childhood to try to figure everything out. I can build success and a beautiful lifestyle and a beautiful family and a beautiful bank account. I can build all of that stuff for myself with all the information that I have now. And maybe it's just really not worth thinking about. It's not worth being in that pain. It's not worth having those wounds constantly. It's like, it tries to scab over, and then we rip off the scab, and then it continues to be this this exposed thing. It's like, finally, let's just let this heal. Let's not give a lot of attention to it. Let's put a Band-Aid over it, and let's just forget it and let the body do what it needs to do. right? Because we know that our bodies can heal itself, and in the same way our spirits can heal themselves as well. And sometimes when we're like staring like, heal, you know, when we're trying to like make it happen, it's very hard to do that. It's like when you're trying to do something and someone is just like looking over your shoulder the whole time, like that's really, really, really hard to like keep focus, you know? It's like, go away. And then I'll get it done. And then when it's done, then you can come back and take a look at it. It's kind of like that. All right. So just let it happen on its own. And then we have Mercury going retrograde. Now, Mercury is going retrograde at the 24th degree of Capricorn. And it's not quite coming into an exact conjunction with Pluto, although it is very close. So there will be Plutonian themes. And I actually think with Venus coming through Capricorn as well, we have to remember that the last time Venus was in Capricorn, she was doing a retrograde against Pluto, right? She came over and then back again and then over again. And that was a very challenging time for a lot of people. I know it kicked my butt. Some people had great things happen. I really hope that was the case for you. But for many people, it was a very challenging, cold transit. Like it wasn't friendly. It felt unrelenting to a certain degree. So now she's back to like the scene of the crime. You know, she's back here and she is like with her head held high saying, look, Pluto, like I did it. Look, Capricorn, I did it. I made it all the way around. Like you can't hold me back. Like you tried to hold me back, but look, here I am. I'm showing back up again. I'm not going to cower just because you didn't think that I was ready to make the cut, right? Just because I wasn't healthy enough or I wasn't valued enough or whatever, I'm not smart enough, you know, whatever those things are that are going on in your mind. She's here to be like, screw that. That's not real. That's not true. And I had to make an entire, circle around the zodiac here in order for me to realize that. But now I realize it and you cannot keep me back. And so she comes back with pride, with dignity, and with honor. And Mercury going retrograde here, I think, solidifies that feeling of progress. It solidifies that feeling that we've done good. And you may need to take some time, 12th house activity, to like review. Review is a great thing for a Mercury retrograde. Plus we also still have Mars going retrograde as well. So it's a great time to just like sit back and realize how far you've come and how meaningful the steps were that you took. Oops, sorry. Something happened in the corner over there, a little bug. But like you can review, you can go back through it, and you can really realize how meaningful all those things were, so that as you start taking these bigger and bigger steps, which I know is what you're going to do, you're going to start taking these bigger and bigger steps, you're going to realize how all of this is going to truly accelerate. And it's going to accelerate quickly and beautifully and wonderfully as we enter into 2023. Okay? All right, Aquarius, I'm going to leave you with that. Happy December. You guys know I love and adore you. Have an amazing month, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take care.